Hi, this is James with Rev.com. I wanted to share an efficiency tip with you today that is the second half of the battle, really, with speeding up your transcripts. We know that text expanders are huge, so personally I have about 1,100 of them. I only use probably 200 of them solid with every transcript, maybe less, but that's half the battle. The other half really is comprehension of the transcript, and in order to work at a high speed, you want to be able to balance out the typing that you're doing with really making sure that you're playing back as fast as you can and still retain everything. What you'll notice though, if you play around with this, is that you can actually play back the audio a lot faster than you think. As a grader, this is where I first noticed this. I started speeding up the audio and realizing I could take in a lot of the content without playing back at 100%. And it's something like speed reading. Really, our brains are able to take in a lot more than we think. So this is a transcript. You can't speed up every speaker. It depends on their speaking rate, obviously, but you're going to get a lot of speakers that have this sort of rate of speaking.
I think that the warnings should be on the website as well.
And what you'll notice is that if we just, now I do this with shortcuts on the keyboard, but if you speed this up, here's the slider. If you want to set some shortcuts, you can do that down here. Even at 200%, you're still able to retain what she's saying.
I think that the warnings should be on the website as well in some of the interaction.
Like we saw on the
Now, you can hear the interviewer has a much faster rate of speaking.
We saw on the University of Maryland site.
And so you have to play with that. So when I'm transcribing now, what I'll do is, again, I have this set to shortcuts. So as I'm going back and forth, I'll be adjusting the speaking rate on the fly. Some people are concerned that you might be missing words that are spoken. It actually, ironically, works backwards, because when you're just typing one word at a time, you don't have any context. You're going to end up doing a lot of deleting with false starts and stuttering and that kind of thing. And you just really don't have the full context of what the speaker is saying. So it's a lot more likely that you're going to make mistakes. Whereas if you were just to play the audio file one sentence at a time and then pause at each sentence, you'd sort of be doing the same thing, only you would be transcribing a lot slower. So if we speed it up, I find, generally speaking, since I've started doing this, between 130 and 150% for most speakers is completely doable. So this is the speaker at 130.
I think that the warnings should be on the website as well in some of the interaction.
Like we saw on the University of Maryland site.
Well, yes, because if you don't have that on the website and you just like include it on the side of the bottle.
You're also going to notice that filler is a lot easier to catch and mentally filter out. Of course, this goes without saying that this is more suited to non-verbatim than verbatim. You're going to want to catch every false start, every stutter, speech disfluency that's spoken with verbatim, but with non-verbatim, it's not an issue because we want to cut those things out anyway. So I hope this has been somewhat helpful, and I'm always looking for new ideas for future videos, so feel free to leave some comments, or I will see you in the forum. Thanks.